was one movie I didn't mention that I thought was brilliant. Okay, I loved. And do you guys watch Sinners? Did anyone see? Wasn't Sinners amazing? Like Sinners was just so cool. I thought that movie was brilliant. Like I loved that movie, and that's an example of a movie that was made for a certain amount, but has blown up at the box office. It had an audience that wanted it, that loved it, that went to see it again and again and again. And then there's some movies with like huge stars that has just died at the box office. No one went. There was no audience for that movie. Um, so I think it's really interesting, like what audiences will show up for you. Like I want to kind of, I know I'm the one talking, but I want to kind of ask you: do you guys go to the movies or do you just watch Netflix? We get a thumbs up for people that go to the like. Would you, if you would go to see an indie film at the cinema, like a low kind of small budget indie film, give me the thumbs up. And people that don't have their cameras on, send me a thumbs up in the chat. Okay.
Now, when you say like, are you talking about like indie film, like lesbian content?
Like indie film, like Left-Handed Girl indie film. Like I'm trying to think of the last indie film I watched. I love indie film. I watch so much indie film. Um okay, like I didn't go to the cinema to see it, but I can't, because every time I checked the timings and my work didn't align. For example, there was a movie called Sorry Baby that I really wanted. It was a Sundance movie, and I really wanted to see it. Do any of you heard of it? It's quite a heavy movie. It's like dark comedy. Um, and I would have paid to go to the cinema to see that movie, even though like hardly anyone here has heard of it. I saw the trailer. I was like, this is a cool Sundance film. I want it. It's a female director, female right director. She's also in it. It's kind of it's about like traumatic assault, but funny. If that makes sense. Um, so like that will make me go to the movie to see it. Whereas I don't want to say movies and offend people, but like um there's a lot of big movies that I sometimes get invited to see because of my job and because I'm a member of BAFTA. So I'll get invited to see movies that I will go, like if I get the invite, I'll go and see that movie out of curiosity, but I wouldn't pay to go and see that movie. But I would pay to go see Left-Handed Girl, and I would pay to see Sorry Baby, and I would pay to see like I'm throwing out old movies, but like Before Sunrise, that in its day that was a tiny little. I would go see that movie. Um, Rental Family, I would have paid to see that movie. Uh, what else have I seen recently?
I
But
think
yeah,
people still go. I think they're just, I don't know if they're only anything like me, way more selective, like
yeah,
since the pandemic, you know?
I don't know what the age range on here is, but I wonder how much young people go to the cinemas now.
That I do think is a
It's a problem.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I have a niece who's like 20, and I was asking her, this was interesting. What do you watch? And she's like, nothing. Instagram, TikTok. They all watch YouTube. And but like if I make a movie, I put it on YouTube. That doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's and I know I'm not saying it because I want money. I'm saying it like I want enough money to be able to make another movie and just like live as a filmmaker. You know what I mean? I've never had any desire to be a millionaire whatsoever. I just want to make cool
Well, they didn't grow up going to the movies. I think that's the thing, right?
yeah,
Folks of a certain generation grew up where the option was you went to the movie and maybe it came out on video like 6 months later.
yeah,
But if you wanted to see something, you had a certain window within which to go see it in the theater, and that was it.
yeah,
So you had to go and you wanted to go, and it was an event, right?
yeah. You went with
So
your friends.
yes, exactly. You went with your friends, and and then even leading up to the pandemic, right? I mean, things were coming out faster on video, but you still went to the movies for things you want to see. And then the pandemic hit, and we all got used to seeing things at home. And so I think now, folks that still, most people that grew up going to the movies, like going to the movies, I think are just more selective about what they go see. And then, but the younger generation, they don't have that same perspective. They don't have that same history.
I will ask one question. I found this fascinating. So she didn't really watch anything. There was one show, and I said the name of the show because I'd heard young people watch it, and she lit up. And she, oh my god, yes, I watched every episode. And I was like, what? But I was also like, because I'm talking a lot about the cinema because I've been doing a lot of work in film lately. But like, obviously, your TV show is not a TV series is worried not, and I love TV, and that's not going to be in the cinema. But then it's like, I think when you're talking about indie film, part of the way that a film makes money is the cinema, whereas TV they make it through whether it's the BBC or Netflix. But it's like the equivalent of that is if a TV show was streamed directly to its audience via the internet, because we have the means to do that now. Like I could make a TV show and put it on Vimeo for you guys. But it's like, are people gonna pay to see that show? Or are they just gonna pay for a subscription to Netflix? You know what I mean? And it's like, do we need to get that show onto Netflix for people to watch it? So the show that my niece loved was obsessive. Did anyone watch The Summer I Turned Pretty? Was this yeah? No? Did anyone was it did we
There's
like
some
it?
people shaking their head.
Yeah, I mean, I watched one season because I kept hearing when the finale happened and everyone was flipping out. I was like, "What is this show?" So I wanted to see, and I can see it's like Dawson's Creek vibes. It was cute. It was cool, but I found it interesting that that was the only show that broke through for her generation. And I said, "Do you watch it downstairs, like with your parents on TV?" And she was like, "No, I get my laptop or my iPad and I watch it with my sister. We go into our room together and we watch, get some popcorn and that's our thing." And I was like, "Oh, that's really interesting."